Simplified Chaos, Episode 13.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to start leading a more purposeful life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hey, our beautiful listeners. Welcome to our podcast. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm joined with my husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks?
And this is episode 13.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're getting at it.
We are.
What are we talking about today?
Today's episode is all about support.
Support? What kind of support?
Any kinds of support. Most of the support has to do with my pregnancy, but overall, we're going to talk about why support is vital to taming your chaos, whatever it may be in your life. The support systems that we use specifically during pregnancy, because I feel like that's a really tough time. And the resources that we've used, and maybe some resources that will help motivate you guys to find support if you find so that you need it.
Wonderful. And if you guys like this episode, please take a screenshot, share it on Instagram, leave us a review, or just give us some kind feedback. Shoot us an email or give us a direct message. We love hearing from you.
And we got some really good feedback from last episode about infertility. And I'll tell you what, even if it's just one message, if someone reaches out to any of us, we think it's so worth it that we shared our story. And so thank you to anybody who reached out to us for any of those episodes, because you are the reason why we keep going on. I mean, This is fun, don't get me wrong, but it's awesome to hear that it hits somebody and it affects them and it makes them feel connected in some way and, you know, motivated to change. So you guys rock.
Nice. That kind of is a good segue to get into our gratitude segment.
Not a segue off a cliff.
Oh, well, no.
Isn't that how the guy that invented segues died?
Yep.
But sorry, really.
Not a good joke.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So what are you grateful for?
You want me to go first today?
Yeah.
All
I like keeping you on your toes, Jill.
Okay, I like that. Today, I am grateful for Wegmans.
Oh, I like Wegmans.
So
I'm grateful I didn't have to go into Wegmans today.
That's true. So yes, today in particular, I was very grateful for Wegmans. Well, first let me preface with the real reason why I know I'm like stuttering. I love Wegmans so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, their selection is like extraordinary. They have so much to choose from, so many good organic things and just really healthy, nutritious stuff. But the past 2 weeks, I've had a day off from work. It may have been because I had a doctor's appointment, or Lucille did. And my mom and I have gone there for lunch because it's like the best lunch spot to go. Not only did I enjoy it before having a baby, because it's like a buffet of all kinds of healthy, nutritious stuff. I mean, there's not many healthy buffets out there, but Wegmans is like my dream health buffet that I get to choose whatever I want. And it's amazing. And now that Lucille's here, they even have a little high chair that she fits perfectly in. She can scream and gaggle and do all the things and not bother anybody, because there's a lot of people in Wegmans. And we don't have a waiter to tip, so we're saving some money. Not that Wegmans is cheap, but, you know, we save that aspect. And I just really dig the healthy choices a lot.
I usually go right for their pizza.
I know.
I don't do the healthy stuff there.
But yet for today, we had to go there to pick up some groceries before your parents came. And Wegmans has the best sourdough bread. It's
really good. It's so soft.
It's so fresh. And you know they're on top of things, because there's always somebody checking the temperature of food in the food bar, or I saw someone go to the bread today and like grope the bread and then look at the date to see if it was like fresh.
Was it you? Because I know you and your sister love groping the bread at Wegmans.
I would totally be a bread groper if that was a real job, and let people know which bread I thought was the freshest for them to take home.
That's a good feeling.
It literally is a good feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so I did there.
I'm grateful for Wegmans, because that sourdough bread that I bought today was the best topping, or bottom topping to our burgers today.
Yeah.
Some people use rolls. I hit up that sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread's money.
Yeah.
I dig it. Good stuff.
All right, so
for me,
tell me.
I'm grateful for my dad today.
Aw.
Yeah.
Your
So
dad
my
is
parents
awesome.
came over from Delaware, and I'm always grateful for my mom too. But today, like my dad loves doing projects around the house, and for Christmas they got us the Hello doorbell by Nest.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. So we have an entire Nest system in our house, and so we wanted to continue that.
What is the Nest system for
So
people
we
who
have
don't know?
we have a thermostat. We have smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. We have what else? We have the lock on our door.
And this is all by Google,
Nest.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
What does Nest stand for?
Nest.
Oh.
Your home's your nest.
Oh, I get it. I thought it was an
Yeah.
acronym. There's acronyms for everything out there. So I was like, it's got to stand for Ninja Extraordinaire Safety Tool.
Good work.
I did.
I'll ask Google if that's correct. But my dad loves doing projects, and
He does.
with electrical work, I don't mind doing it. I did the smoke detectors and all that stuff, but he wanted, and we weren't sure if the doorbell worked. Like we haven't had a doorbell since at least I lived at the house.
There's just been a bunch of wires.
There's been
hanging out.
wires hanging out of the house.
Super safe.
Yeah, yeah. So we thought that the transformer was dead because we tried putting the wires together and nothing was working. It turns out they were just kind of old, and they just needed to be stripped a little bit more to get to functioning
Fresh
again.
dripping.
So like my dad, he likes buying the doorbells. He bought the chimes, and he's like, next time I come over, I'll bring. Like he proactively does this stuff. Like he knew we needed a doorbell and all that stuff, and he's like, well, I went and bought this stuff anyway. And I'm like, I'm
likes
plenty
helping
of
you
kids,
guys.
and that's what I love. Like, and he loves working together and installing things, even though he does more of the work. I hand him the tools. But it was cool. We got it done. It was one of our quicker projects. So we had a lot of fun today, and now we have a video doorbell, so no one can leave a pile of dog poop on the porch and light it on fire.
People do that all the time.
I'll catch you. I got you.
Pretty sure Adam
You're on
Sandler
camera.
is the only person who does that.
Well, maybe.
And then it just makes me want to get boots and go outside and
Stomp on shit.
You're gonna yell, "Don't put it out with your boots, Dad! Don't tell me what to do, devil woman!" All right, I'm sorry.
Nice work.
That's all I think of when I think.
So yeah, that's gratitude today, guys.
Yeah,
Fun stuff.
flaming poop. We're grateful.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into today's topic, and that is support.
Support.
And more importantly, we're going to talk about support during Jill's pregnancy, kind of a continuation of our infertility journey on our last episode. And if you haven't heard that one, definitely go back and give it a listen, episode 12.
Yeah, it felt right. You were right. It was kind of your idea to do support and to talk about the support systems that I had. And a lot of the support system I had kind of benefited you as well, because
My goodness, yeah.
if it benefits me, it's making me happier and healthier. It's sure to benefit you. It's a great domino effect with having support when you need it.
And going through pregnancy, especially your first time, is stressful. There's a lot of unknowns. It's your first time experiencing
Everything
it.
is unknown.
Exactly. I mean, you can get all the answers from people and people telling you different things, what to expect, but no one's pregnancy is the same. No one's kids are the same. Like, everything's different. So
I feel like all they tell you is to take all the naps you can and to sleep.
yeah.
That's pretty much what I heard before we had
You
Lucille.
took some naps.
But can I just say, even waking up in the middle of the night, I still felt pretty damn good. I didn't feel tired when I went to work.
Nah, you
don't know.
You took it like a champ. But yeah, the support definitely helped with stress, the unknown, and we are certainly thankful for a lot of people who helped us out along this journey. So and Jill's probably going to do a lot of the talking in this episode. It's a good thing she's a better speaker than I am, because this is a lot from her perspective, but I know she's got some questions from me in regards to some of the support. But I think we should start. Do you think we should start with our doula? Because that was the first thing we really did, even, very early on in stages of the pregnancy. So yeah,
And
hire a doula. That was great.
I just wanted to preface before I got into the specific support, but I think overall it takes more courage to ask for help than it does to just try and do it alone.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of fear when you have to admit that you need help. And I don't think it makes you weak. I think it makes you human. And we can't all be experts at everything. Like, we can't know everything. It's impossible. Like, our brain has a capacity, and I think it only has room for what really makes meaning in that season of life or what we're passionate about. And I think it's completely okay to seek help in order to make the best decisions for your overall well-being. And for example, like if you ask me anything about education or nutrition, I'm going to have a pretty vast knowledge base to supply you with support because that's what I study, that's what I do every day, that's what I'm passionate about. But if you ask me about how to change the oil in my car, how to grow a pineapple properly, I couldn't tell you because...
You didn't pay attention when we went to the pineapple farm. You just have to plant a stem and that shit'll grow.
See, I didn't remember that.
Any part of that's what's interesting about pineapples is like any part you plant can grow a pineapple.
See,
like
I
the whole
forgot
thing's
it
a
that
seed.
quick.
It was the coolest thing ever.
That was like on our honeymoon. How many years? That was like 4.5 years ago.
Oh, come on.
But anyway, so I couldn't tell you because I'm not going to know everything, and not everyone's going to know everything, you know? Sometimes trying to know it all is just stress in itself. Mm-hmm. Trying to be an expert in everything sounds stressful. It is stressful because it's like information overload.
You can't know it all. That's why you have experts out there, and that's why when you do finances, you should hire a financial expert. When you do lawn work, hire a lawn technician.
No, exactly. And I just think that I don't try to acquire it all, and I know that. Just the things that I'm truly passionate about, I inform myself, and then I have to let go of that control that I might think I want to have over everything in my life, and I just have to let it go and then seek help and find support for the things that I don't know and I need answers for desperately.
Right.
And I think, I don't know how it is for men in the perspective of men. I know men, we don't need help. We can do everything ourselves.
Well, especially when it comes to directions. We know where we're going.
Exactly. But I really want that stigma to go away because I feel like...
And we don't need to look at instructions to put something together.
That's what Exactly. It's like, for some reason... I mean, there's women, too, that probably have a hard time admitting that they need help and seeking support. But I think it makes us braver and stronger. And I just want to empower more women to seek help if you need it. Because we can't know it all. We can't do it all. And you need help. We need help.
Yeah, we all do.
But anyway, let's dive into
now we
first
can get into
support
doula.
system. I'm sorry. I had this little spiel I wanted to say.
I know. I was not aware of that. But I'm glad you put the brakes on, shift the gears a little bit, and now we brought it back.
Yes. So
here we go.
The first support system, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I have no idea what I'm getting into. Nick doesn't know what I'm getting into.
Nope.
Nobody that I really knew, I mean, some of your friends have had babies, but I wasn't as close with them. But even then, like, they don't know the whole birthing process, like how to support me through it. So the first thing I did was research, how can I find help in helping with the birthing process? Because I wanted to do it unmedicated.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use drugs, and I had read a lot of research about it, and that was my choice. But I was like, hell, if I'm going to do that alone, like, I'm going to need some kind of person there, like, saying, you can do this. And that's when I found out what a doula was.
Yeah, because I would have been like, give her the drugs. She wants the drugs, give her the drugs.
And if you don't know what a doula is somebody who is certified to be there to help you with the birthing process. They can't deliver the baby. I think you have to be a midwife to do that. But they're like your number one cheerleader, supporter for helping you through that process. They help you before you deliver the baby, and they can help you after the baby, which to me, both parts are equally as important. And I hired my lovely doula, who I still talk to and I have a great relationship with, Brittany Riddick, and she was fantastic. And we'll put all her information in the show notes because if anyone's in Maryland and they need a doula, I'm always like telling people, if you need support, hire a doula.
Yeah.
If you're in this area, hire Brittany because she was phenomenal.
I had no problem being her number two, or your number two, for that matter, because she was there and she was able to support. And we'll get into more like kind of the process with her because she helped us out even before we even went to the hospital. We had a meeting with her. But yeah, with you going unmedicated, I don't know that I would have been the best support because like I said earlier, I was joking, but I seriously, like, seeing you aches and pains, throughout that entire day, like, I would have said, give her anything to make her feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I probably would have done the same.
Oh my goodness. But, she was there and she helped you follow your plan. So I guess talk about your experience, how you met her and, how you guys got connected.
So after the first trimester, I just literally Googled like doulas in the area we live in. And I don't know if she was the first one that came up. I have a feeling she was. I don't think there's a lot of doulas that were on my search for some reason. I feel like it wasn't as popular as I thought it would be. But anyway, I found Brittany and I saw that she was pretty local, and I reached out to her and said, hey, like, I don't know much about doulas, but I know that I need support, and I read about what you guys do, and I would love to meet up and know more. So we met up at a Panera Bread, and we sat down, and she had all these pamphlets and information, and she pretty much told me what she does, the services she provides. And I was blown away because I didn't realize that they can teach classes, that they can even give you services post-baby, like they can come to your house, they can, do laundry for you or prep meals for you or babysit for you or anything that you need after delivering, they are there for you. And that's a lot of hours of dedication that she does. And she is there in the hospital with me too.
Right.
Like she can come to my house before the hospital to see how I'm doing, let me know, give that support. Like if she thinks I may be ready to go to the hospital and just be there. I mean, just having a person there who's been through multiple births just makes me feel calmer already.
Right.
So after listening to her tell me about all of their services, I was like, yes, yes, and yes. Like, where do I sign? Like, this is worth the investment. I don't even care if insurance covers it. And I know there are some insurance plans that may cover some of it, but it was that point where, like, I didn't care. Like, this was worth it to me because I wanted to feel calm and I wanted to feel just, I guess, not as scared to have a baby. And it was kind of scary to think about doing something I've never done before, and parts of my body that were going to be opening wider than I've ever known before. So yeah, I picked a specific package that she offered, and that's kind of when we started our relationship. And it's almost like an a la carte of services you could pick. So I picked to do a birthing plan. So we sat down and we talked about what I wanted for my birthing plan, and she gave me information if I had no idea what it was, and just educated me about that process.
Was that in the first meeting, or was that afterwards?
That was afterwards.
Okay.
So that was just what I picked.
Gotcha.
I picked the birthing plan, and then I also picked our labor class that we did together, where she showed us different positions and how you can support me through delivery and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually had some hours postpartum that I could use too for her to come over and do whatever I wanted her to do after Lucille was born. And that's kind of what I picked for my package.
Right. Yeah, I remember after your first meeting with her, you were like, yep, I'm doing this. And I was like, cool. I was like, this sounds like you told me what it was all about. And I was like, yeah, I fully support this. Let's do it. And then, you picked out your packages with her. And then I finally met her when she came over to do like the labor class, which is probably right around the time you were 8 months pregnant.
I was going to say it was a month before.
Yeah. And she said, this is what we're going to do. These are some of the techniques we're going to use throughout the labor.
It was really relaxing.
You don't have to remember them all because I'll be there to show you. However, here's a pamphlet, here's all the information. And then she also gave us the peanut and the peanut balls and stuff like that. So things that can help Jill be a little bit more comfortable during her pregnancy. She just gave you a lot of stuff and a lot of support. So
it was pretty much like, I guess if someone didn't know anything about baseball, saying, hey, here's a bat that you're going to swing so you know how to use it before you go to the baseball game. So she gave us some different types of balls. There is a peanut-shaped ball, and there was different size peanut-shaped balls, which I had no idea. There were so many different sizes. And
you were a medium.
And then she also gave me just the regular sphere ball. And it was just... So it made me feel a lot more comfortable going into delivery, like already have been exposed to those things and knowing how to use them in different positions, and then knowing that you knew different positions too, so you could support me. And, not that it's not awesome that Brittany can, use different techniques with her hand to hit certain pressure points, but knowing that you had that knowledge too, to kind of be there in that moment to touch me where I needed to be touched in order to help with the pain or wherever need be. And I know it made me feel a lot calmer.
Yeah.
I don't know how it made you feel.
No,
but
I mean, 100% calmer, and just knowing that she was there to provide direction and tell me how to support you. I mean, again, halfway through the day, I mean, you were going through some pains that to me looked unbearable. And I know even early on in your, well, maybe about halfway through your labor, you were like, yeah, I don't think I could do this. I need to move to the drugs, get those things prepped. Just shoot it in me. Like, I need this. And, Brittany
I was definitely self-doubting myself.
You were. And she said, listen,
she just gave me the facts.
Yeah, she
didn't tell me what to do either.
She didn't BS you. She told you straight, and you were still coherent at that point. You were able to answer and be like, okay, we're gonna still do this. But I mean, from the time we got to the hospital, I mean, she met us here at the house. Like,
that was so incredible.
Before we even went to the hospital, you were like, hey,
I texted her.
This is happening. She's like, well, do you want me to come over and check to see if, everything is good? And she came over, and within 15 minutes, we were like, yeah, we got to go to the hospital.
I feel like even before I said, could you come over, I was just telling her these are how far my contractions are. I think we may go to the hospital soon, but I'm not sure. She was like, I'm leaving my house. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Like, she got here, and man, it just gives me such a feeling of safety for such an experience that was so unknown.
Yeah, because you called your doctor,
my gynecologist,
and she's like, "Well, don't go to the drink water, don't go to the hospital yet." And you're like, "No, we're halfway there, so we'll see you in a little bit."
She told me to walk around the neighborhood, and I'm like, "No, listen." The thing is, doula, Brittany, who is a doula, she gave me the confidence to know when to go. Like, she prepped me before, like, if your contractions are this far apart,
they sped up quickly too.
They did, and they were pretty consistently a certain amount of minutes apart. And she almost empowered me to know when is the right time, and she empowered me to really to listen to my body.
Right.
Brittany never told me what to do. She said, "What do you feel? Like, how are you feeling? Like, you need to be the person that makes the decision." And I love that she gave me that power, because when you're delivering a baby, no one else knows what I'm going through except for me. Mm-hmm. And you totally do feel a difference. Like, for some reason, it's hard to explain, but when you know, you know.
Yeah.
And she empowered me with the information to know when it's time to go. And based on my contractions and based on how I was feeling, I was able to make that decision fairly confidently, saying, I think we need to go. So when my gynecologist did tell me, like, I think you should drink some water, walk around, when we were halfway already to the hospital, because it took me a while to get a hold of her, mm-hmm. I was like, I'm sorry, but we're on our way, and we're not going back home.
Yeah, there's at least, she's like, okay, well, just go through the triage. They may send you home.
But I think if I didn't have a doula support, I probably would have been like, okay, Nick, we probably should go back home, because I don't know any better. I probably would have just blindly listened to the gynecologist. Yeah. When I think back on it. If I wasn't empowered with that knowledge, I probably would have been like putting all my trust in her. Like, she's the expert in this. But it was almost like I had two experts, but I had such a good relationship with Brittany that I had more trust in her.
Well, that may sound weird. I had more trust in her than my gynecologist. And was able to see the condition and see the contractions, and this wasn't her first birth. Obviously.
Well, not that it was my gynecologist's first birth, but...
No, but she was there giving you personal attention and knew that you needed to go, rather than doing an over-the-phone triage.
Yes.
She was like, yeah, you need to go. And, we went through triage, and like, yeah, you're staying. This is happening.
Yeah.
Which was cool. But, yeah, I mean, she helped out through the entire process, was able to give you, massages and stuff like that as well. Like, so she was like, in addition to what I was able to provide, because she is a massage therapist as well, which was
a licensed massage
an
therapist.
Added benefit was that, she was able to kind of help you relax, even though it's a tense situation.
For sure.
Yeah.
And her demeanor was so calm and tranquil, and I don't know if
very
all
calm.
doulas
Oh my
were like
goodness.
that, but she was.
It was amazing.
Like a freaking superhero of tranquility. Like, I needed that calmness.
I did too.
Around me, and I know it was a whirlwind, and I was just in the zone thinking about, like, how do I make the good pain stop? But she was there just asking me questions like, how does this feel? How does this feel? And just hitting certain pressure points to just help make the pain less painful. And, never nagged me or, was never a nuisance at all. She was just there, ready to go for whatever I needed. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably would have gotten drugs if it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
For sure. I would have buckled, and I would have been like, nope, can't do it. But she was there and said, listen, she just gave me the facts. Like, you're this many centimeters dilated. You've been in labor this long. You're pretty much almost there, but it's totally your decision what you want to do. And just hearing her say that, I was like, fuck yeah. Thinking in my head, and I was like, I could totally do this. Like, it's a lot of pain, but if Brittany has the confidence in me, I had the confidence in me, and she just totally empowered me.
So while we're kind of on this subject, because I think we're going to shift gears here and talk about some other support here in a few minutes.
Yes.
But there was, and I don't know if you've prepped for this or not, but it just kind of came to me. There was a podcast that you listened to on that Monday, 4 days before you gave birth.
Yeah.
That talked to you a little bit about pushing, and we'll find that podcast and put it in the show notes, because I thought that gave you some information that was crucially important and played a huge role during your birth. So you want to get into that?
True. Good pull, Nick.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't think of that as support because I didn't pay for it.
You didn't, but
I guess there are support systems that you don't pay for that can totally help you.
Sure.
So there was a podcast I listened to, and I actually did not know about it. I saw it on someone else's podcast. It's like we support each other. Podcasters have to support each other because there's a lot of great information out there. But go ahead. So another podcast that I listened to, Fed and Fit, I believe is the name of it, or it was called Paleo for Women. But anyway, we can put that in the show notes as well. She had an Insta story that all it said was, "I wish I would have listened to this episode before I gave birth," and I was very intrigued, and I was like, okay. So I listened to that podcast episode.
That's good marketing.
And yeah, right. And it was all about the physiological. I guess
you're welcome.
I'm just words about the birthing process and what is supposed to happen, and just hearing like what the baby is supposed to be doing and what happens if we push too soon or the baby gets stuck, and how the baby does this corkscrew of a turn going down through the canal. I didn't know any of this, and just hearing about what's naturally supposed to happen, and if we push too soon or do anything that it can make the baby stuck, was like life-changing for me. Because when I was delivering, my gynecologist came into me and said, "You're this many centimeters dilated. I need you to push." But after listening to that podcast, they said that it doesn't matter how many centimeters dilated you are, you still may not be ready. The baby may still not be in position. And she was saying how you're going to know when your body wants to push. Your body's physically going to push the baby out. Yeah. Like, you're going to feel the urge. Your body knows what to do, to trust your body. So when my gynecologist told me to push, I told her, no.
You said, no, I'm not ready. And I was like, you can do this. You can do this. Because I thought you were scared. I didn't realize and just wasn't thinking about that podcast because you told me about it. But it's like one of those things where you're in the moment. I was like, yes, this is happening. I'm going to see my daughter. And you're like, no, I'm not ready. And I was like, are you scared? And at that point, you could barely talk. Like, you were just in so much pain that you were just like one word answers.
I could say no.
You could, yeah, you were good at saying no at that point.
Hell no,
But yeah, I mean, you made a decision. The gynecologist was not happy with your decision at the time and basically got up and walked away and said, I'll be back in a little bit.
Yeah, Mom was like, she threw up her hands.
She did. And I think your nurse even said something. Was like, no, this is a good decision.
She did?
She was your nurse was your cheerleader too. She did a good job.
I didn't know what other things were said, but I know that she was a full supporter of my birth plan when I brought in my little laminated birth plan with beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and it wasn't the Fed and Fit. It's Well-Fed Women podcast. I was completely botched that
Well-Fed Women.
Well-Fed Women. It's a good name,
like
right?
It. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That was another.
That was a change.
That was changed everything. Yeah, that really was.
The doula you listened to it 3 days before you gave birth, so it was fresh in your head. Man. Yeah, absolutely. So, anything else you wanted to say about Brittany and doulas?
Just that.
Just get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're the type of person who, I feel like everybody kind of fears the unknown. Like, I accept the unknown when I need to, but if I have 9 months to prepare for the unknown, you best be sure I'm going to find out as much information as I can.
Yeah.
But enough that I'm not overwhelming myself and trying to learn it all myself. So if you're one of those people that want to feel supported through anything, especially pregnancy and childbirth, and you don't want to stress yourself out with trying to know it all, then I highly, highly, highly recommend investing in a doula, because they are just a tremendous resource.
Definitely.
I could not say enough things about Brittany.
So before you were pregnant, and when we were talking a little bit about in the infertility episode, you started seeing an acupuncturist.
Yes. The other support system that helped me was my acupuncturist, Gina. And I definitely had, I feel like everyone has this, I guess, view of acupuncture before you even go. Like you think about.
You see it in movies, or
Yes.
you think of Hellraiser.
Yes, exactly. You think of like some kind of strange belief that if you put needles in your body, it makes you feel better. And
Well, the Chinese have been doing it for centuries.
the Chinese are onto something.
Yes, they are.
Because it balanced the hell out of my chi. And I feel like a lot of the power doesn't even come from the needle points. Don't get me wrong. I think those needle points help. But I think finding an acupuncture that you have a good relationship with and somebody who listens to you, keyword listens to you, has done wonders.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, you're funny. Just somebody who could see my life in a different perspective and just pretty much repeat back what I told her in her perspective and just say, like, I think I mentioned it in the last episode of just how, like, she told me, like, you're doing a lot. I don't think you see it. I don't think you realize it, but you're working really hard. You're trying to do a lot of things. And I can see how it can be overwhelming. And she just gave me great feedback. Didn't tell me what to do, but just pretty much tells me what my life looks like in her eyes and her perspective, and an outsider. Someone different than my family or friend.
Right.
And I've been working with her since my fertility treatment. So, God, it's been...
Wow, 3 years almost?
Wow.
Yeah.
And I still go to her once a
do?
month. And she just brings me joy, just having conversation with her and just telling her. We have a really good, even better relationship because I've been with her for 3 years. So she knows.
She knows everything about you. Your mom goes to her as
Yeah.
well. She's seen Lucille. Lucille goes with you on some of your visits. So, I mean, she's gotten to know our family. I've even met her. She's a wonderful lady. And I'm certainly glad that she helps keep your life balanced.
She's definitely a positive influencer that I would never want to take her out of my life. If I still have good insurance that can afford it, I want to keep her once a month in my life because she does a lot of good to me.
Yeah.
And if somebody...
One day I'll get over the fear of needles.
It doesn't hurt.
I know.
It doesn't hurt. And it forces me to meditate. Like, it forces me to
I've gotten much better with shots.
Oh, geez.
And giving blood.
You should try
getting
giving
blood drawn.
birth.
Yeah,
Let's just
well,
try that.
I'll pass on that.
Well, you can't do it anyway. Sorry, honey.
Yeah.
But yeah,
as much as you'd like me to.
if anybody is curious about acupuncture, whether you're going through infertility or not, even if you're just going through a tough time, even if you're feeling good, I still would recommend going to one and finding one that you have a great relationship with, because to me, it's such a value. And I think it ripples into you, onto Lucille, onto my friends and family. Like, it does nothing but add great things to my life. It doesn't deplete me. It doesn't take anything from me. And acupuncture is really cool.
Yeah.
Just to say, go to acupuncture, I feel like a cooler person.
I'll do it one day. Maybe sooner than later.
Yeah. And
just to give it a try.
And the fact
that you're going to do that or chiropractor.
Oh, but it's cool because there's other tactics besides medicine that she does. Like, there's these scraping techniques she does when, like, my muscles are sore. There's these...
Did she do the cupping?
She did cupping on me one time, and I had those big, cup marks
like,
on my back.
What's his name?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
I wasn't, like, slapping my back.
I thought Michael Phelps was, like, some bionic person at that point, and then they're like, no, it's cupping. I was like, well, what the hell is cupping?
And now I can say I've been cupped.
Cupping. Yeah.
You wear a cup, and I've been cupped.
Damn, that was good, Jilly.
Because you play baseball.
Yeah.
Some people don't know you play baseball.
Oh, I play softball now, but it's still smart to wear a cup, especially if you play the infield.
But yeah.
Still want to be able to shoot straight.
I know. Hey, that's a support system for you.
I've been supported since I've been a young kid with that thing. So yeah, no, that's good stuff. So yeah, no, acupuncture's been great. I think the next thing, because I want to save the newborn class for last because that was a lot of fun.
It was.
But next thing you did was a Fit for Mom class. Tell us a little bit about that.
So before pregnancy, I was a pretty big. We have a little home gym inside our house, and
It's a DVD player.
No,
or a phone.
No, you do.
That was what I did.
You do the insanity stuff. Well, you used to.
Yeah, I don't do. Shit
I would
anymore.
do Kayla Itzina's BBG
right.
stuff and just high intensity stuff. I was very motivated. I could go down there and just do my workout. But then as soon as I got pregnant, I was like, not so motivated. I thought I was going to be like this fit pregnant person that was like, oh my God, I'm going to work out all the time and I'm going to be super healthy and fit. And man,
Were you also going to be a valley girl?
I know. I don't know why I started talking like that. It's clueless.
I'm calling you out, Jilly.
I know you are. I
I
don't know
love
why my voice changed. That's so strange. But damn, you did call me out. I'm a little embarrassed now. Anyway, so I was not motivated during pregnancy like I thought my pregnancy was going to be. And I said, hey, I need help. I need to go somewhere. I need to be around other people who are pregnant because I just need to connect with some other moms
Right.
who feel the same way. But at the same time, I need to move my body because I would come home and I just didn't really feel like doing much. So I sought out a pregnancy workout class, and there's not many available in this area. And Fit for Mom,
Which is surprising.
It is.
Very surprising.
I agree.
Sorry.
No, and that's why I think Fit for Mom does so well, because they support those pregnant mamas. And I started going to a class, and I think the first class you go to is always free. So I checked out a class. The instructor was super supportive, motivating, and, very energetic. And I love energetic people who just...
You feed off of that energy.
You do. And so I went there and I got to meet other mamas, and they, talk about, it's kind of cute when you do your little warm up stretch and before your like workout, you just talk about like how many weeks you are. And then they ask you like a question. So there's like a question for each workout, like what food are you craving? Or maybe like what traits of your husband's do you hope the baby gets or doesn't get? Like just really funny.
What traits did you want Lucille to get?
I don't really remember.
My dimple.
It was
smile,
more
my
like
eyes,
character,
my
not
hair.
physical traits, character traits.
Okay.
And I forgot what I said because you just have so many wonderful characteristics, babe.
That's very sweet of you.
But yeah, it was just a fun time. And they give you a workout and they say you can make it harder, less intense, or stay in the middle. So they give you these different options to make it comfortable for you. And it's an hour long, and I liked it. So I continued to do it until the very end.
You looked forward to it every week.
I did. And even when I may or may not have been...
Did you go the night before?
I did.
Oh, that's right. You did.
I did. I seriously
so you
missed
went
one
the night
week.
before.
I missed 1 week because of spring break because I
Right.
was visiting my dad. But every week I was there, and it was once a week. And it forced me to just get really good movement in once a week.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
But you went the night before, and then we went for a walk after you got back.
We did.
And that's when Lightning Crotch was like through
Like
the roof.
crotch. It's a real thing, folks.
I should have known that the next morning I'd be waking up and you'd be like, yeah, this is happening. But no, that was cool. Yeah, right up to the day before was your last day at work. Mm-hmm. So you timed it
I didn't time anything.
perfectly.
I don't know how it
Well,
worked
Lucille
out.
timed it perfectly then. She was born on her
The
duty.
stars were just lined up for me and
perfectly.
lined up for her. It's all
Yeah.
Lucille.
But no, I thought that class was great. And then even after Lucille was born, the instructor came over and brought you food, right?
She did.
Yeah, that was sweet of her.
It was.
Yeah. So that was a great support group as well. And I know every time you got back, you were happy. You felt like you've accomplished something. You were just full of energy. You looked forward to it every week. So,
did.
it was nice.
Yeah. Total shout out to Fit for Mom because they got me through a time where I couldn't push myself. So
Yeah.
they're a great support system for anyone who needs that extra push to move in whatever way your body wants to move. And I could not recommend them more.
Perfect. So, newborn class. Jill signed us up for this newborn class. It was on a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And all I can think of is, great, 4 hours. I'm wasting a Saturday morning, 4 hours of being taught, how to take care of a newborn. Yeah, it's probably going to be informative, but how, intriguing and invigorating will this thing be?
Man, you really sound like a sad sack.
I thought it was just going to be like your typical,
I think we all did.
Yeah. Man, when we got there, this lady was just full of energy.
Hilarious.
Hysterical. I mean, from the moment we walked in, just waiting for other couples. And it was funny. We went to Uber Bagels before we went that morning. And another couple that was in that class saw us there. Like, were you at Uber Bagels this morning? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
And
we have good taste in egg sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That stuff was so good. But, yeah, so we got there. And, man, we learned a lot. And it was because she was so engaging. And
it was very hands-on.
Very hands-on. Made sure that everybody participated. I remember that one guy who just always kept on raising his hand and had something to chime in. They were sitting directly across from us.
Oh yeah, like they would talk about a product that you could use on babies, and a lot of the products he was like, "Yep, I've used it," like Pedialyte.
Oh yeah, he was like, Pedialyte is my go-to for hangovers the next day. I think butt paste.
He's like, that's great for chafing because I would catch.
He was a baseball player. He was a catcher, and he started using butt paste to prevent chafing. So, no, it was. We learned a ton, and I think we've saved a ton of money because of that class too. Like we paid what was it, $50 for the class, $25 for both of us to attend. And she also does a grandparents class, which I think is, and she's been doing that longer than she's been doing the newborn class, but. The whole idea behind the grandparents class is they're good, our parents are going to be watching our baby. So there was a lot of things that they did in the, late 70s, early 80s that are not cool to do anymore.
Like how a baby sleeps. With, like,
how
the
a baby
bumpers,
sleeps, yeah. Because my parents, they put us on our stomachs. Yeah. And now it's back. And you just learn a lot of great things. And, even though... Your mom ended up not going to that class.
We never got tickets.
We never got a ticket because if we were gonna,
we were trying to get your mom and my mom to go at the same time, and it just never worked out. But
your mom's been really good at.
My mom's been really receptive to everything we've been telling her, and she's been listening to us. Whereas I feel like most grandparents are very stubborn.
Well, she was excited to go to the class.
I know what I'm doing. I've done this before, which I don't blame them. And our instructor was like, I pretty much tell the grandparents to shut up and listen.
But man, she was great. It was definitely worth the 4 hours, and it didn't seem like 4 hours. It felt like that we were there and out in a snap, but worth every second that we spent there. Worth the money. Like I said, we're not buying stuff because it has baby on it. We're pureeing a lot of the food. We're saving so much money, and I would encourage especially if you're in the Maryland area and go to Anne Arundel Medical Center. And take that newborn class. However, try to find, for the folks not in the Anne Arundel County area or in Maryland, try to find a newborn class and do some research on it. We had heard some friends who had taken this class too who said, it sounds boring.
Or
but
just ask your friends for that support. Yeah. Like, people that have had babies that be like, listen, did you take any classes? What do you recommend? Because I remember that, your friend was saying, listen, we took these classes, but I really think that this one was the best. And I would, you don't have to take this one, but this one was really beneficial. So I feel like just reaching out to your friends that have kids and then asking what classes they've taken could be just a support system in itself, because that's true. We learned a lot of information in that class. And I think that, some of you might be thinking, well, you probably can you can Google anything and find out, but this was hands-on.
Yeah.
Like, it was way more interactive, and that's how we really learn. You learn through moving and doing things, not just reading all the time. Yes, reading is one area of input and learning information, but when you can do something and participate and be involved, then it just makes that meaning much more valuable and meaningful. So I was extremely grateful for that
Yeah.
little support system for us. It was, we learned how to change a diaper. I mean, she like rammed.
I had never changed a diaper in my life. Like, I hadn't. The first time I
forgot
changed a
about that.
diaper was that little mannequin in that class.
And she was like, I rammed that poop in its crack.
Yeah. No, she put some Hershey syrup up in that shit. But I had to learn immediately because you were bedridden for that first 24 to 48 hours.
And you were like the diaper
And
changing king.
I had to learn really quick. And
You were better than I was. I think you may
was
still be
teaching you
better
some
than
techniques.
me. You were.
yeah,
Did you just wink at me?
I did.
Because of your diaper techniques.
Yeah.
So
I like it
sexy.
when I'm good at things. So let me ask you this, and this is going to be an interesting question. Is there any other kind of support you wish you would have gotten now looking back on it?
Oh. Yes.
I think I know where you're going to go with this, but I'm trying to lead on. So what would you say? What kind of support would you like?
Oh, what do you think I'm going to say? Now I want to know.
I was thinking the postpartum.
Yes. I wish I would have had more knowledge about postpartum, about what it possibly could be like. And I know everyone's postpartum experience is different, but I think anyone who's pregnant should know what could happen and what you could feel and what your body is going through and what's actually happening and how long healing could take you. And I know it's different for everyone, but I feel like just having that knowledge of what it could be would have made me feel so much more saner and calmer through the healing process, because it took me a very long time. And then one of my friends who had a baby a month after I did, she was like a spring chicken. Like, she healed really quickly. And then it made me think, like, why am I not healing quickly? And my gynecologist didn't even talk about it with me. They just check you up and they say, how are you feeling? And it's like, okay. But
yeah, we
they don't
came
really
away
give
armed
you
with
any more
everything to take care of
information.
the baby, but knew nothing how to take care of yourself afterwards.
Yes, and I don't understand why there's no systems in place to help the mom take care of herself after the baby. Like, everyone's worried about the baby, and I get it. The baby's new, its immune system's still growing. Like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong with the teeny tiny baby. But everyone forgets about the mom. Like, where is the support system for moms after delivery? Like, I feel like there should be some kind of spa for moms that everyone
Yeah.
gathers to. And this is like a dream world, or just somebody.
I mean, if anybody does know of any kind of support afterwards, please let us know. We'd love to share that resource with people, because I know if we do have a second, you know a little bit more what to expect next time.
So I do know that there.
But for those
yeah.
for those women who are having their first kid and coming home and have no idea what their body's going through, what changes they're going to go through. I mean, you just went through a completely traumatic event, and your body went through more changes in 9 months than it will in its entire lifetime.
Well, that men have in their entire
Exactly.
lifetime. But, and even like my mom having 2 kids, it's like my birthing experience was completely different. She had C-sections. I didn't. I had an episiotomy. Like, there was a lot of differences. Like, everyone gives birth, but every birth is different. And just having somebody give you that knowledge of all the possibilities that could happen would have been so vital and would have made me feel a lot more comfortable going through it. But I do know that there are postpartum doulas, and I think there's actually one on my doula's team now. Like, I
Okay.
don't know if there was one before, but there are doulas that are specifically assigned for postpartum support. So I think that if I were to do it again,
Total package.
I would may look into that, because that was so unknown to me, and it was scary because I didn't know if I was healing properly. I didn't know. And then when I got mastitis, I mean, there was a lot of things happening that I had to research for. And I hate looking at things on the internet, because you know how it can give you like worst case scenarios that freak you out even more. Like, I really just wanted to hear it from a person that I trusted and had a relationship with, but I didn't have that at the time. So that is one support system that I wish I had.
Man, Jilly, when I look back on it, you went through a lot during this whole pregnancy just to get this beautiful girl in our lives. So I appreciate you and everything you went through. And I know it wasn't easy all the time, but you made it seem easy. So
Thanks,
very
man.
proud of you.
Well, I'm just glad you were there by my side supporting me and not making me feel like
Team
I was
effort,
crazy.
baby. It's a team effort.
It is for sure.
Yeah. So, you want to jump into the quote of the day?
We can. Oh, I had a resource.
Let's do some resources.
Can I do a one resource? I mean, I know these are all resources in itself.
We're going to have a ton of resources in our show notes, folks, so make sure you definitely check those out. But go ahead, give us another one.
I thought this applied. It's funny, I found this blog, and the name was Burnished Chaos.
Burnished?
Burnished. Burnished. Am I saying that right?
Sure.
I don't know how else to say it, but I thought it was hilarious that they had the word chaos in her.
Spelled with a K?
No, spelled with a C.
Okay.
And she's a mother.
Not as cool as... No, I'm just kidding.
Her name is Alana. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but she had a blog post that was called The Importance of Asking for Help. Mm-hmm. And she had reasons why we struggle asking for help and why they don't stack up. So I thought that if you feel this and you need help, maybe it's kind of like a warning to you, or just kind of like an aha moment that, maybe I should seek help. So number one of the reasons that we struggle to ask for help is that we have a fear of rejection. Number 2, we believe we have to do it all. And I think a lot of moms feel that way.
Yeah.
Number 3, you don't want to be a burden to anyone, so you're afraid to ask for help.
You're such a burden.
Shut up. Number 4,
Jesus.
Everyone else can cope with it, so we should too. And these totally resonated with I can resonate with all of these things. Number 5, other people have it way harder. So why am I complaining about it?
Yeah.
Number 6, everyone needs help sometimes, no matter what their circumstances. Oh, wait, that was not right. I was like, wait a minute. Sorry. Number 6 is loss of control. And she elaborates more with each of them. But in the beginning, like a lot of those, number 1 through 5, I can totally resonate with. I don't think I ever got a loss of control.
I don't think so either.
I think there's a lot of us who think that we don't want to burden anybody. We're afraid to ask for help because we don't want to feel like
I agree.
We're putting our chaos on somebody else.
Right.
But they can't read our minds. And it's funny, I tell my kids this that I teach every day. I can't read your mind, so if you need help, come ask for help. But yet, I am probably the one who like tries to hold it all in and not tell anyone I need help. And then they're like, well, what's wrong? And then I'm like, well, I need help. And they're like, well, I didn't know because you didn't tell me. And it's like, why don't I practice more what I preach with my students?
Yeah. Yeah. Communication, folks.
So she also had why asking for help is so important. So if you need more confidence in what can happen when you ask for help, even though you don't want to burden anyone or you're afraid to ask or, you feel like you have to do it all. Number 1, no one can do it all. And trying to is just going to lead you into getting burnout, or ill. It can literally make you ill. Like stress makes you sick.
It does.
It can shut things down in your body.
I can vouch for that.
Number 2, sometimes people actually want to help, but don't want to step on your toes or risk offending you by offering. So there's a lot of people that want to help. They're just waiting for you to ask for it.
Exactly.
So I feel like if we think that everyone wants to help us, that maybe would give us more courage to say, well, there's a high possibility this person may want to help me. So the worst thing they can do is say no.
Exactly.
Number 3, it builds connection and strengthens relationships. And I completely believe this because I have a great relationship with my doula now. I still talk to her. I still use her. I have a great relationship with my acupuncturist. Like, I feel like all the support systems that I've reached out to have gave me great relationships and connections, and they're only leading to more positive things in my life.
Yeah, we've been in touch, except for the newborn class.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a personal connection there, but, everybody else who you've had a personal connection with, you're still in touch with them.
Mm-hmm. And it builds independence in children and helps them learn, because if we're being a good role model and if we're struggling and asking for help, then they're going to know that when life gets too tough for me or I can't handle something, I know that it's okay to reach out and ask for help versus trying to fight it myself and struggle within and become ill and sick and unhealthy and not be healthy and happy. So it's like even more motivation to be a good role model for Lucille.
Yeah, have to be.
But yeah, I thought that was a really great blog post that totally aligned and resonated with me and everything how I felt about asking for support and getting it when you need it.
It's awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely post that. I think everyone should check that out. Ask for help when you need it. People are willing to help.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I guess now we can do the quote of the day.
Here we go. Quote of the day by Jilly Kaselniak.
It's super sweet and super short.
Who's it by?
Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez. Go for it.
You are never strong enough that you don't need help.
Nice. That's very simple.
And I hope that resonates with men too. Like I said, I feel like men feel like they have to do it all and be the strong ones. But we can't do it all. Men and women.
But I know where I'm going.
Oh, jeez.
I'm kidding. I agree with you.
So yeah, I hope that this episode resonated with some of you. And the take action is to take action. If you need help, to seek help. Don't be afraid of asking. You know, it doesn't make you a weak person. It makes you actually stronger and braver that you are asking, because you know that you're admitting that I can't be an expert in it all and I can't do it all. And I think
reach out to us. You know, if you have any questions about any of these different types of support systems that we've used, we're happy to talk about it. And even in any of our previous episodes, if there's something that we can help you with, please reach out. We're always willing to help.
Absolutely.
You've got a friend.
You've got a friend in me. Oh, you've never seen Toy Story?
Nah.
You're that one person in the whole entire world who hasn't seen Toy Story.
It when Lucille starts getting into those things. Yeah. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for joining us this week. We enjoyed hanging out with you.
We sure did.
And we will talk to you next week.
See you later, guys.
We want to thank everybody for listening today. Please be sure to subscribe and sign up to receive notifications so you know when the next episode is live. If you like today's episode and know someone who could benefit from the topic we covered, please share it with them. And if you have any suggestions for us or want to chime in on today's topic, you can email us at simplifiedchaospodcast@gmail.com, and that's chaos with a K, or send us a comment on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you